I'm Nikki from Off Grid Style with Tom and Nikki, and today I'll be talking to you about must-haves for a bug out bag. Number one is a portable water filter. This is a must, as any water you find if you do have to bug out will need to be filtered or boiled prior to you drinking it if you don't want to get super, super sick. Next up is survival food. Make sure you have enough for minimally 3 days for each person that is bugging out. You do not want to carry canned goods. They weigh extremely heavy in a backpack. Also, just in case you find some on the road, be sure that you have a manual can opener with you. You never know when you might be somewhere and discover some canned goods. Hey, while you're here, would you do me a huge favor and go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button and that little notification bell? It will notify you anytime we upload any new content. And by doing this, you're doing us a huge favor because YouTube will move us up in the algorithms. Thank you. And next on our list is a tent or some type of cover of some sort. If you have to bug out, something like this little small package that I show you here in the video is perfect. It fits in, it's compact, doesn't take up a lot of space. This is all you need. And we can't forget a fire starter and some waterproof matches. This is very important, especially if you are bugging out into more of a remote or wooded area where you may need to start a fire to keep warm, to boil water, or to keep yourself safe. Please be sure you practice with this fire starter at least a few times before you have to bug out. Hopefully you never have to, but please practice with it so you're comfortable with it. And next on our list is a first aid kit. I don't recommend, Tom doesn't recommend that you use one of the ready-made ones. You're better off going ahead and building your own so that you can choose what you need more of or what you feel you need more of. In addition, it's probably a less expensive option. We actually have an entire bug out bag that is medically related. With medical backgrounds, we definitely are wanting to be more prepared than some people might want to be. I'm sure we'll do a separate video on that bug out bag down the road here. Number 6 is a camping or survival set of pots. This is a good one to have, definitely needed. You'll see that the ones here that are pictured are actually detachable on the handles. So you can detach the handles and fit them together and they go into your bug out bag and you can actually put things inside of them as well. So they'll fit nice and compactly inside your bag. Definitely need to have for boiling the water and all those other things, but also for carrying things like, for instance, if you go foraging and find some nuts or anything like that, you can put them inside of these. And next on our list is Paracord. Doesn't matter really how big or small. I would tend to go on the smaller side, like maybe 20 feet, just because you don't have a lot of room in a bug out bag. You will be amazed at all the uses you can find for Paracord. So definitely have this on your list. And here we have a folding saw. This is a really neat one. It folds up nice and compact, maybe about 6 inches wide by about half an inch in width, and can slide right into your bug out bag. Very useful for doing things like obviously cutting up wood to make your fires, to keep your fires going. Possibly you may even have to cut down some wood to make a temporary shelter if you're stuck somewhere for several days. It's always a good thing to have. And always extra clothes like socks, underwear, gloves, bandanas, a hat, and depending on your climate, you may need some more things. And what I did was I took our extra clothes that we wanted to put in our bug out bags and I stuck them into those food saver bags, and I actually food savored all the air out of them. So this way they fit nice and compactly into our bags. And here we are at number 10, which is flashlight. And not just a flashlight. Make sure that you have at least 2 flashlights, because it's probably chances are going to be more than one person going with you. And make sure you have extra batteries for those flashlights. Another good idea, and it's very, very small and compact to carry, is to have a headlamp. This will allow you to have both hands free to do things while you can still see with the light from the headlamp. So this one's really cool. This is a solar hand crank radio. I don't know if some of you even realize this was an option or something that was available. You can get them with a lot of different options. The one here pictured has a light on the end of it. So it is solar powered, but you can also hand crank it to give it power to listen to the radio to find out what's going on, especially if it's an emergency situation or you know that you're needing to know what's going on in your area or around you or whatever the case might be. Pretty cool item and definitely something you should have. Also, don't forget in the same concept, a CB radio or a set of walkie-talkies if you are traveling with somebody else. Also a very good idea. This is definitely a necessity, a good quality hunting knife. First and foremost for self-protection. You're in the wild. You never know what's crawling around out there. And number 2, in case you do have to hunt for food, it will come in very, very handy for that as well. So I realize this one might be a little old school, but a compass. And a compass is a necessary item in your bug out bag. Do not rely on any app on your phone because you may not have technology. So be sure you have a compass and be sure you learn how to use it prior to anything ever happening, whatever that emergency might be that you need a bug out bag for. Another good thing to carry is a couple of folded local paper maps. Yes, they still make those. Yes, you can still find them. Also, you can go online, Google the possible direction you might be going, print out a map of that, fold it up, and put that in your bag as well. So a multi-tool is also extremely important to have in your bug out bag. This particular one here is pretty good. And be sure that you get a good quality multi-tool. Go ahead and spend the extra money for it because this is basically your entire toolkit. So you want to make sure that you have good quality tools when you are working with this. Let's see, next is fishing lines, some hooks, artificial bait, and a bobber. You can usually get the fishing line obviously wound up into one of those little compact reels. And you should be able to find a little kit that has your bobber, some artificial bait, and your hooks. This way they're not floating all over in your bag and you don't accidentally prick yourself with a hook. Not a good thing to do. But the fishing line also has a lot of other uses. I mean, off the top of my head, it could be used for snares. It can be used to tie things up. It can be used for hanging things. It also could even be a bushcraft screw replacement if you lose a screw out of your glasses. So definitely things to have in your bag. And this one is wire snares. This is another thing that you want to learn how to use prior to ever having to use them. Do take a bit of practice to use them correctly. They're designed to trap wild game. This may aid you in catching a squirrel or a rabbit, and it will hold them much better than trying to do it with, say, the fishing line or something you try to weave out of any type of leaves or anything. So definitely add this to your list. And last but definitely not least is a shovel. And this particular shovel is pretty awesome. It's a folding shovel that also has a lot of other uses. As you can see, it comes in that little pouch. And it is not just a shovel, which you will definitely need, especially if you're starting fires and things like that to put the fire out. But it has things that will allow you to use it as a hoe, a saw, a spear, an axe, and all kinds of other little gadgets with it. So definitely look for things that have multiple uses like this does. All right, well, that's it for this one. Please tell us in the comments what you might have in your bag. Have you ever thought of doing a bug out bag? Anyone who is in an area that is prone to things like hurricanes, tornadoes, flooding, anything like that, fire, just thought of California, definitely needs a bug out bag just in case. So let us know what you think of what we've put into ours and what you would put in yours. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.